Hello, and welcome again to another episode of Something Something Chat Show with Tom Jr. Jackson presents After the Movie Review, Spooky October Edition, Episode 10. Today's movie we will be discussing The Rocky Horror Picture Show from 1975. But first, have you liked, commented, subscribed, and ring that notification bell yet to my channel? Give it a chance now. See what happens. You'll be informed when new videos come out on this channel. Thank you for helping, not only liking the video, but also making it easy for my channel to grow in this community of YouTube channels. Have you visited Positive Fandom yet? And what is Positive Fandom? Positive Fandom is a YouTube channel hosted by RM, where she does unboxings, reviews, such as movie, television, theatrical trailers, reactions, out of the theater reviews. She does a Sunday morning show every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. It is called Sunday Brunch Live, and she has a co-host who is an author named Russell Whitfield. And on this show, they take all the pop culture that's going through the week and they parlay it, meaning they talk about it. So come, join them, watch them. And if you are a creator and you have a YouTube channel or a Instagram feed, come and we will promote it for you. You tell us in the chat what's the name of the channel or whatever it is that you'd like to promote, and we will put a link to it in the chat and tell people to check it out. And it'll be stuck on video for all time. So come do that. And when you go, well, what do you mean we? Because the host RM is not only my friend, but I am her co-collaborator on the channel as well. I am her moderator for the live chats. So come join us every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. And speaking of RM, she has another show, but it's not on the Positive Fandom Network. No. It is on the Geek Singularity YouTube channel. And it's called Ladies of the PGS, where they embrace masculinity. Like she loves talking about men, but also there's more to that. They talk about men in movies. They talk about on the show, it's talk about men in movies. There's also talk of sci-fi, horror, Star Wars, Star Trek, sex, and more. So join us every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time, for Ladies of the PGS. And while you're over at the Post Geek Singularity channel, why don't you give them a like, a comment, ring their notification bell, let them know that you heard about their channel from me, and check out their shows on the channel, because the channel is hosted by one Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. And the channel is, I should say. And he has such shows as Midnight Musings, Midnight Metal, Let's Get Physical Media, Whining About Movies, Fully Articulated, and Observations. And as a matter of fact, excuse me, RM is one of the co-hosts of Midnight Musings as well. So check it out with Robert Meyer Burnett. director of such films as, free enterprise, producer of such films as The Hills Run Red and Tango Shalom, which is available. Tango Shalom is now available to watch on Amazon Prime. So check this movie out, because not only is it a great little movie, Tango Shalom was even not only tweeted about by the UN, but given an award as well. So check those out. Very cool things. And also, for as low as 99 cents a month, you too can become a member of the Post Geek Singularity. And you can join it, become a member, and join this Saturday. Sometimes it's a Saturday, sometimes it's a Sunday, but it's twice a week. Twice a month, members only Zoom call, where you get to talk with Robert Meyer Burnett. Ask him anything about his career, ask him about what he thinks about what's going on in the state of pop culture, what you're watching, whatever. He will talk to you for about 10 minutes. And then these calls go for 3 to 4 hours as well. So give it a check out. And see you there. Now, back to the main topic at hand. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is our episode 10 of our spooky October edition of the After the Movie Reviews. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, let's talk about it for a minute here. For nearly 47 years, the Rocky Horror Picture Show has been continuously shown at midnight screenings all around the world. This is a very popular film. It didn't do well when it first came out during the day or in the evenings, but when they started showing it at midnight, it became a word of mouth thing, and it just lasted to where it was. If you don't know the story of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, let me get you caught up on it, shall we? A newly engaged couple, played by Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon, have a car breakdown in an isolated area, and must seek shelter at a very, very bizarre residence. Now, this film is a comedy, it's a horror, and it is a musical that is based on an original musical play by Richard O'Brien. And the script was not only written by O'Brien, but it was co-written and directed by Jim Sharman. And this, this play is very popular, very, very popular. As a matter of fact, if you look online, you'll see there are many different chapters of the Rocky Horror Picture Show Club where they show this film. So they'll show the film, and then you go to see it and you watch it on the screen, but then there's a cast that comes out and mimics everything on the screen, and you yell at the screen, you throw things at the screen. It's a really fun time. As a matter of fact, when I was young and in school, high school, there was a presentation of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we got the Yale, I believe, the New Haven chapter of the Rocky Horror Picture Show fan club to come down and do the show while we played the movie there at the school I went to as well. Now, who's in this movie, you ask? Why? Well, I'll tell you who. Can't tell you why, but I'll tell you who. Tim Curry is in this movie. This was his first movie. Tim Curry, Patricia Quinn, and Meatloaf. Those three were all in the original stage play of the original stage play of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. As a matter of fact, not only was this Tim Curry's first film, but also Meatloaf's as well. Filming took place from October to December near Windsor, England. As a matter of fact, here's a little known trivia fact, is that the late Princess Diana, she was a huge fan of this movie. And there was some thing that they were doing, and it was just her way of getting Tim Curry to come to meet him. And they placed Tim Curry at the end of the line. And when she got up to meet Tim Curry, she whispered in his ear, "This movie completed my education on life." And, and she said it with such a wickedish grin, like a devilish grin almost. She was a huge fan of this film. And I find that hmm, I excuse me, I find that very cool that she liked the film, and that she was a fan of it. And the only way that she could meet Jim Carrey was to have some sort of premiere, something like that, or something that he was in, and that's the only way she could get to meet him and tell him about that. So I really like that. I find that to be very cool. I mean, and how else would anyone do something like that? And only her could have done that as well. Um, the South African Board of Censors, after several weeks after the release of this film, banned it and banned the film. But that was after only 250,000 people have already seen it. I guess they didn't approve of it, something like that. Steve Martin auditioned for the role of Brad Majors. Brad Majors was the character that Barry Bostwick played. They wanted to make the film with the studio wanted to make the film with today's hippest, well, at the time, back in the 70s, the stars of the day. And the director said, no, 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 we're going to make this, but with the cast from the movie. And I mean, from the show. And I think the compromise was they got two American actors to play the roles of Brad and Janet, which to me, I think that's pretty cool. That's right. That's what it was. See, the studio that, excuse me, studio that released it was 20th Century Fox, and they said, "No, we'll give you a bigger budget to do this if you hire popular musicians of the day." And the director insisted they're going to use the cast of the musical. And so they got the people, Tim Curry, Patricia Quinn, Meatloaf, and Richard O'Brien, all in the film because they did the original stage play and they were playing their respective parts as well from the stage play. Yeah, I would have to say that. Excuse me. Meatloaf played Eddie in the original London cast stage production. Tim Curry said that has actually stated that Dr. Frankenfurter, the character he plays, is actually pansexual. Do with that what you will, my friends. As a matter of fact, the former personal stylist for David Bowie came up with the makeup for Frankenfurter as well. I think that's pretty cool that something like that was influenced at the time on all that. Um, I want to say the fact that this film has lasted 47 years in the cinema, and every year it gains new followers, new fans, and it's like a rite of passage for generation to generation to generation as it goes down, because it's a movie for people that feel cast out, feel freaky, don't feel like they can be themselves. And I like it because it's a very, very unusual musical, but it's done in such a fun way. And um, I think that they just all look like they're having fun with each other, doing this film. And the fact that you can go now to a midnight showing on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night where they do this, and you have a cast up there, and you have people that know what to yell at the screen because some of the dialogue is so paused, it's almost shattered in a way where you got the pauses in between so you can say something. Um, I want to say that the song Hot Patootie that Meatloaf sings, Richard O'Brien, who wrote and the music and wrote the script for the original play, was afraid that Meatloaf might not be able to do Hot Patootie, and bless my soul. And O'Brien brought out the music, and he said to him, "It's okay to flub a few lines. No one in the London cast has ever sang it, sung the whole song correctly, anyways." And Meatloaf looked at it and said, "Well, what's the problem?" And then sang the whole song without skipping a beat. And it's one of those songs that I wish that Meatloaf would have included in his live show repertoire when he would go around in concert. I would have loved to have seen him perform this live with his band on stage when he would tour. That would have been a great thing. And sadly, that can no longer happen because I believe it was either last year or the year before Meatloaf passed away. I believe it was I think he had COVID. I could be wrong. But the Rocky Horror Picture Show was created from Richard O'Brien's love for classic science fiction and horror films. And you actually see this in the movie where there's scenes that are, I want to say, scenes that have been um, inspired by Frankenstein. Scenes that were, there's a scene that's inspired by the end that's inspired by um, a lot of movies mentioned in the uh, title sequence song as well. I like this film, and I like the music in it. As a matter of fact, sometimes I have some of the songs sporadically played within a music list on Spotify that I have for myself. A good time playlist, if you wish. It's like over almost 35 hours of music on there, and some of it is music from this sleeping in theaters, and that's a very hard thing to do, um, to pull off, I should say. Um, it's a very hard thing to pull off for almost 40 something years, you know. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can get a budget on this because I'm very curious. Let's see here. It was released on, let's see if I can tell you this. April 3rd, August 31st, 1975 in Italy. The budget was an estimated $1,200,000. It's an estimated budget for 1975. Its gross in the US and Canada was 112,892,319,000. No, it's 112,892,319. My mistake there. And grossing it worldwide, it had made 113,804,000. No, 113,804,859. And I don't know how much it is made worldwide since having never been out of theaters and only played midnight showings. I don't know that, but it's a fantastic film. It was remade a few years ago with Laverne Cox as Frankenfurter, and Tim Curry did an appearance in the film as well. If you really want a fun, campy time, watch this movie. It's not one of the best movies, but it's a very fun movie. And I'm sure many people will go, "Oh, I remember this," or "I love this song," or whatever with it. It's just one of those movies that you go, "Oh, I know that song, and I like this, and I like that about it." Um, Definitely a great thing, and it's like it runs a tight hour and 40 minutes. So it just flows. There's no dull moments in it. And it feels like once it starts, you get going with it. And it it just holds itself really holds up really well. And I enjoy that. For the fact of the matter is that you don't see movies like that anymore. You don't get things like that. Um, and you're very lucky if your movie can start and then go through, even though it's like an hour and 40. It doesn't feel like it's an hour and 40. It just feels like, boom, you're having a good time. You're not thinking about how long the film is. And that's what this film is. So I would recommend it if you are into uh, comedies, horror comedies, or musicals. This is the movie for you. And there are a few musicals that I enjoy. I enjoy this, and Little Shop of Horrors is another one, which I think somewhere down the line I'll do a review of that as well. So that's one of my favorites. That, and then Shrek the musical as well, which I think is also fantastic. Um, I think a good musical is a film that will, if it doesn't feel like a musical, where you don't have someone going, oh, I remember the time, like they in the middle of a sentence and they break into a song. That's too musically for me. What a nice musical, that just feels right, and this does. It's a fantastic film. Rocky Horror Picture Show, 47 years this summer, next summer, I should say. It'll be 50 years in 2025. Amazing. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you for being supportive of the channel, for commenting as well. Keep on doing that. Keep on letting me know what you're liking, what you're not liking, and giving me your favorite movies that you like to watch. And if I can happen to find them and watch them, I will try and watch them and do a review of them if I can. I mean, there's a certain point, there's a limit to what I can find. But I want to thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, please do like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Check out the channels down in the description below. And as always, my friends, please remember, we are all good people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along, and have a pleasant tomorrow. Bye-bye, folks.